Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this Sunday Stuff and Things, we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things you can look forward to on Stuff and Things YouTube and Stuff and Things Patreon. We'll do a few little life updates. People have been asking me questions about things, so I will answer some of those. And then we talked a little bit about the Instagram look yesterday as far as photography goes. And again, I didn't want to sound like I was becoming a little too judgmental because people can do what they can like what they like, but there is this certain look that does not appeal to me that you see on Instagram a lot. We talked about that. The clarity and the texture sliders on Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, I think are being used maybe a little bit too often. But there was something else that I noticed on Instagram this week, and I had never seen this before, and I don't know if they just rolled it out or if I just hadn't noticed or something, but I find it quite amusing and I want to go into it. It's basically their very strange meta AI descriptions of photos that you can access. So I want to get into that a little bit. I think it's funny. And then of course we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag #AskStuffandThings. And we will end the show as per usual with the Patreon shout outs and updates. Let's get into it. I just realized I'm an idiot. I am sitting in front of my computer because I was just doing a video that necessitated me sitting in front of the computer. And I have printed out the Sunday Stuff and Things questions, and I'm looking at the Sunday Stuff and Things questions on my computer. I did not need to print these out. I don't know why I did. I guess just so I can do this. Anyway, what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things YouTube and Stuff and Things Patreon? Well, this week we have the JMJ Fender Mustang road-worn bass. With new strings. I did a setup, I put new strings on it and did a setup, intonation, neck relief, truss rod, string height, all that stuff. I put these new labella strings on here. Probably not very in tune at the moment. I don't know what I think about these strings. I think I might have liked the old Fender strings better, but the Fender strings have been on there for several years. They had definitely mellowed out a little bit. These ones they're way brighter than I thought they were gonna be, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave them on for a while. I kept the Fender strings, and I will put them back on if it turns out that I don't love the labella strings, but we'll see. I did it anyway. You guys can watch that video coming up this week. The week after that, exclusive to Patreon, will be the H&H WhiteKnight. The last bowls of a classic. So I had a jar of WhiteKnight from like 2014 or 2015. I can't remember exactly when. So a 10-year-old, basically 10-year-old jar of WhiteKnight with just the last little dregs that I could use for a bowl. And it's an excellent blend. And I had forgotten how good it was. And yeah, it was just a cool experience to be able to try that again after it's been off the market for so long. And then the week after that on YouTube and on Patreon will be Leica M4 intermittent scratching issue. Has it been solved? So stay tuned for that. Lots more good stuff coming up. I mentioned those amazing shoes I got recently. Oh, ha, ha, ha. I love these shoes. I've been wearing them for, well, I've been super busy with work, so I haven't had a ton of chances to go out after work to do photography or just walk around. But when I have been able to, I have been wearing these shoes and they're really nice. I love a good shoe. I love a good boot. And these are really, really nice shoes. So stay tuned for those. All sorts more stuff in photography as well. So yeah, a lot coming up. Stay tuned. All right, so life updates, things that have been going on. We have finally gotten some hot weather in the Pacific Northwest, and by hot, remember, it's hot for here. Everyone always yells at me because they say, if I say, oh, it was 84 degrees, well, that's not hot at all. It was 148 where I live. I know, but for the Pacific Northwest, they say that it takes you about 2 weeks to acclimate to heat. So if you're gonna go on vacation somewhere and you're only there a week, you're probably not gonna get acclimated to the climate where you are. It takes 2 weeks, they say. So if it were consistently hot here, I would probably get used to it. But the problem is, well, it's not even a problem, it's a good thing, in the summer, we may have a few days where it's in the 80s or even up into the 90s, but then it goes back down to like 72 or 73 during the summer. And so you don't get acclimated to the super hot weather. So when it is hot, it feels hot. And we had some days that were around 90, up into the 90s. And we've been working very strenuously. We've got a lot of stuff going on. It's been very busy. And especially this last week when we had about 3 days where it was 90 degrees, I was carrying these big 2 foot by 8 foot form panels all over the place and just, my Lord, just sweating. I have a Camelback. My backpack that I bring to work is this very nice Camelback backpack. It's like a salt pack or something, but it has a 3-liter Camelback thingy in it. Ugh. A bladder filled with water, 3 whole liters. And I was emptying this whole thing every day at work. And I'm not someone who's like, oh, I gotta be sucking down water all the time. But yeah, it was hot, I was sweaty, I was exhausted every day. So that's been going on. I've been trying to work on editing some of my photos. I've got thousands and thousands of photos, and I've been trying to edit down. First of all, I'm starting with all my film photos to get maybe 100, maybe less. And then I want to do printouts, just cheap printouts at like a FedEx copy place, and just have a bunch of physical prints of my photos that I can kind of go through visually and not just seeing them on a screen, because I'm trying to get them down into sort of a book format or a zine format or some kind of format that maybe I could print out and have as like a thing or do an exhibition or something at some point. So I've been working on that. It's tough to go through all these because I kind of want to see almost all of them, all the ones that are at least halfway decent in physical form, so I can put them next to each other and kind of just see the effect they have. So we'll see. I'm going to keep you updated on that. Someone asked me what I've been playing lately. I've been playing pretty much exclusively my Nintendo Switch 2, and lately I've been playing this. Metroid Prime Remastered. I played this when it was originally out on the GameCube. Yeah, and hadn't really played it since, so I've been enjoying this. It's the remastered version. It's great. It's a fantastic... Whoa! I just shot a missile off accidentally. It's a fantastic game. Absolutely love it. You should check it out. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not a full price game. And then I am considering getting Splatoon Raiders, which just came out. I loved Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, but Splatoon Raiders is like a single player version of those games. And then also I am seriously considering getting Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Switch 2 Edition. It's like a long JRPG, Japanese role-playing game. I've never gotten into the series. Everyone swears they're amazing. I tried playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 when it first came out on Switch. I had it like a weird accent when I said that. And I couldn't really get into it, but everyone swears that the first one is amazing, and I think I might want to try to give that a try. So for those of you who are wondering, that's what I've been playing. But yeah, some updates. You guys asked, so I told you. All right, but now, gang, we need to do this. This is so ridiculous. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit record on my screen here so that I can put this up. I don't know if I should get out of the way. We'll maybe put it up here somewhere. Are we actually recording? We are recording. And I'm going to go in to my Instagram. Let me put my glasses on because I am old. I'm going to go here to my Instagram. We're going to go to just the first picture that is available in my feed. And if you go hit these 2 lines on the upper right, I don't know if you've ever tried doing this. It works on your own pictures, but on other people's as well. You will have this summarizing with Meta AI. So here we go. Bradley Victor's black and white street photo captures a surreal juxtaposition of a person in an inflatable bird costume walking past a woman making direct eye contact, highlighting how unexpected candid moments define creative street photography. So it says sources. I'm going to click this. Source, 9 creative street photographies, 9 creative street photography ideas. I'm going to hit this link. So this is the source that they got this. Oh, okay. So this is an article by Christopher Bryan Smith on expert photography. Never heard of the site. Street photography is one of the most popular types of photography due to its accessibility. All you need is a camera and an urban environment. Oh, okay, I'm just trying to do these survey things to me and everything. But anyway, so they pulled something from an article, and that's where this information that Meta AI was using is coming from. If we go back to Instagram, we will hit the next one here. So this is an image I have of I was shooting through a shop window. I was inside a cafe, and there was a smear of lipstick on the window, and I saw this woman walking by, and she looked upset, and I took the picture of the lipstick juxtaposed over her, kind of silhouetted. What does Instagram have to say about this? Summarizing with Meta AI. Bradley Victor's black and white street photo uses silhouette and high contrast light to create a film noir mood, turning a mundane parking lot into an abstract cinematic scene. So it doesn't get super specific. What are the sources again? Oh, that's not what I want. Sources. I want sources. Give me the sources. It's just going to the Meta Ask. I'm not trying to ask you. I'm trying to go to sources. Okay, here we go. Noir City, an article from lensculture.com. Okay. What about this one? So these are all ones that have not been film, and I haven't mentioned my Leica M4. I think I mentioned the Fuji X106 in the description of the video or of the picture, but I haven't mentioned film or the Leica. This is another one that was digital. Bradley Victor's black and white street photo captures a spontaneous moment of play on Railroad Avenue, stripping away color to highlight the raw emotion and rhythm of everyday urban life. So it's not really telling you anything, and it's not saying anything specific about the people. Let's see about this one. This is a guy sitting on a sculpture of a goat cart. Goat cart, not go-kart. This black and white street photo captures a quiet moment of a person resting in a wooden cart attached to a metal goat sculpture. Okay. On Railroad Avenue. So I think in my description I mentioned Railroad Avenue. I'll check that. Highlighting how playful public art invites everyday interaction. Okay, and that's exactly what I was trying to highlight there. What did I put in my description? Yeah, I just said Railroad Avenue Candid. So it pulled that from the description. I'd be curious if it could pull a location based on just what it's seeing in the picture and not the description. So we're gonna go to another one here. Let's get to one that is film. So here's one of just an ivy colored wall and an umbrella sitting on the ground. And this is with the Leica M4. In my description, I said ivy, umbrella, Leica M4, Voigtlander 35mm Ultron 2, Kodak Tri-X 400. So Meta AI says, summarizing, Bradley Victor's black and white street photo of an abandoned umbrella against an ivy-covered wall channels classic film noir. I don't know what's film noir about that. Using stark contrast to evoke urban loneliness and quiet narrative tension. Is it just film noir because it's black and white? This isn't super high contrast or anything. It's actually, there's a lot of depth. Yeah, so interesting. Here's one where there is a mannequin head that I had seen several places. So I took a couple pictures of it. So there's a series mannequin head with this guy who I didn't realize. I asked him if I could take a picture of the mannequin head, and I didn't realize he was actually loading drugs into a drug taking device as I asked him, but he was like, yeah, whatever. And then the mannequin head was at a different camp later. So Meta AI says, summarizing, Bradley Victor's black and white street photos use a recurring mannequin head to highlight the surreal contrast between everyday urban decay and human presence in Vancouver, Washington. I don't know why it said Vancouver, Washington. I'm pretty sure in my location tag for this picture, I said Bellingham, Washington, not Vancouver. The gritty documentary style echoes the New York school tradition of capturing raw city life. And then the source for this, Street Photography, Cities and the Arts by Fiveable.me. Okay, so I don't know. It's interesting to me that they are trying to do this. I'm not sure what the benefit is. Let's look at one more. This is a picture of a flyer that a kid put on, this is a garbage can downtown in Bellingham, asking for people to add him in Roblox and Fortnite. And it says here, summarizing with Meta AI, Bradley Victor's black and white street photo captures a handwritten Fortnite and Roblox flyer taped to a pillar, illustrating how Gen Z uses physical urban ephemera to seek digital connection. I kind of like this. So this is interesting because I did not say anything about Fortnite or Roblox in the description, but you have to zoom in and you can see handwritten, it says, you know, add to play Fortnite and Roblox. So it's getting information from the picture. It's often not super specific, but sometimes it is kind of specific. I find it funny, just this, there's this certain voice that the AI has, the way that it writes. I keep saying it. It's not an it, it's just a model, an algorithm. But I don't know, I kind of like this. I think it's fun. I don't think it adds really anything because I did that when I was trying to do my website. It was like, look, AI can make a description of your photos, and I just wanted to see what it would do, and it was just sort of describing a photo. That doesn't do anything. Here, it's actually trying to say that the photo is trying to say something. It keeps saying film noir. It talks about juxtaposing, you know, urban decay and everything. So it's trying to act sort of like a critic. I find it kind of amusing. I just don't know how helpful it is, but maybe you guys should go check out, just go to maybe one of your favorite people who posts on Instagram and hit those two little dashes and see what Meta AI has to say about the pictures. I think it's kind of fun. Now, as I send that screen recording to my computer for further editing later, let us get into hashtag askstuffandthings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like to answer it on the Sunday Stuff and Things, you can tweet at SATBradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings. But you probably shouldn't because nobody does, and I never read Twitter/X anyway. Or you could hit that super thanks button under this video, go right to the front of the line, or you can hit, or if you are a Patreon supporter, you can write to me via Patreon and go right to the front of the line. We have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. This is from @BlakesPipes. I don't do Instagram. I know it's a dating site. I don't think so. But I liked the second photo with the duck person on your first one. No, wait a minute. But I liked the second photo with the duck person. On your first one, you say it's yours. As far as the first, I dislike the Instagram look. Looked AI-ish, might just be me. So yeah, when I was showing the juxtaposition of the two pictures, one where I had done the texture and the clarity sliders all the way to the right, that is to me the Instagram look, and I don't love it. @Ledger and Lay says, your Instagram photography high contrast look reminded me of the complaint of iPhone face. Actors cast based on whether they look good in that format. That's interesting. I first heard of it in a review of the Netflix version of Persuasion. An abomination! That was her aside, an abomination. It specifically complained about with period dramas. Sorry to hear about your coffee shop. Charlie Brown looks like a sweet boy. That was the dog that interrupted my video last week. Yeah, I've never heard the term iPhone face, and I'm kind of curious, like, what would make a face look good on a small screen? Would it be just like massive features or something? I don't know. Interesting. @Kinjiro says, your own photographic standards are in line with the history of photography. High fidelity with an artistic touch. That is how it should be. The Instagram look is just awful. Sad that it went that way. And yeah, again, I don't want to sound too judgmental about this because everything is subjective. People can like things. They can like whatever they want. It's just when you see things becoming a trend where it seems like everyone starts doing the same thing or a large proportion of people start doing the same thing, it makes you think and say, okay, why is this happening? What is going on? And that's one thing I've noticed on Instagram. @52Dislike says, for black and white landscapes, a red filter really brings out the dramatic sky shots. Ansel Adams used it often in his Yosemite Park photos, but I guess street photography is more based on the realism of the moment. Yeah, I like the look of the red filter. It can make the sky just look much more dramatic, and you'll see, I mean, you won't see color because it's monochrome, but where a picture might just be white, the sky in a black and white photo, you can actually get a little bit of variation and color in there. It does tend to do kind of weird things to skin tones sometimes, so it's not something I would use just typically if I'm taking photos of people and places and things. If I were just doing landscape, I might throw a red filter or an orange filter on there. But yeah, it looks cool for sure. And we've got some feedback from I'm Not Going to Like This, Cult Conspiracy, and our good friend Ted Stryker over on Patreon says, I keep all of my disliked blends in a big plastic bin. I don't know why, really. I'm almost certainly never going to smoke them again. I used to do that, and then I just started getting rid of them. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't need it. Yeah, it's actually been quite a few years now since they stopped making anything but Blood Red Moon. I remember there was a time when it seemed as though they might get rid of that blend too, but that was around the COVID era. My computer's doing things. Stop it. So that might have had something to do with it. So yeah, when I was talking about Cult Conspiracy, I didn't realize that they were no longer making it until I started doing research on it. And yeah, it turns out that they've discontinued everything except Blood Red Moon. Obviously, I don't keep abreast of these things because I don't like aromatic blends, so interesting. But anyway, gang, thanks for all that feedback. Please keep it coming in. It really helps make the show go. There we go. Okay, but now it's time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, if you would like to support Stuff and Things on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below. Why do I still have these on? And it is much appreciated. It is basically the only thing funding these videos. If you like anything you see on YouTube, and you would like to see that early and ad-free on Patreon, $5 a month gets you in, and it just makes sure that you're supporting the content that you like. If you're interested in the exclusive stuff that is posted on Patreon, that's all the pipe stuff that used to be on YouTube, can no longer be on YouTube. It now has to be on Patreon. Anything new that's pipe related goes to Patreon. And then we have a huge archive now of a bunch of the old pipe blend reviews. I put a new one up there every single week. So yeah, $5 a month gets you in, gets you access to all that stuff. And then you'll just be supporting something that you love, that we all love, that everyone should love. But every week we shout out those who support Stuff and Things at $25 or more a month. The producers of Stuff and Things. People like Jason Buckner, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, The Friendly Piper, GreatGrol, Glenn, just Glenn, David Severin, Nicholas James, Kyle Whitmore, Mr. Gibson, Chris Caughey, Ted Stryker, GandalfTheGrey, and the Maniacs. The crazy people who support Stuff and Things at $100 a month. People like the stolid and dependable Bob Magee. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. What can you look forward to exclusively on Patreon this week? Well, not exclusive, but early and ad-free, you will have the Fender JMJ Mustang bass new strings setup video. That'll be Monday on Patreon as opposed to Wednesday on YouTube. And then on Thursday, you will have from the archives a review of GLP's Stonehenge Flake. That was originally posted on July 26th of 2017. Interesting blend there. The GLP stuff is always so great. So yeah, check out all the good stuff. More good stuff coming. I need to edit some stuff. I am very pleased. Well, now I've given it away, but I'm very pleased about what's going on with the old Leica M4, so be sure to check that video out when it comes as well. Lots more good stuff coming up on YouTube, Patreon, everywhere you can find Stuff and Things. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. Has been Stuff and Things on a Sunday. Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.